Welcome back to Grump's Barn for a video I didn't even know I was going to make. And I'm not in Grump's Barn today, I'm in Grump's garage. As you can see, we have a lawnmower, a Mountfield 1538 HSD. The H stands for the fact it's got a hydrostatic gearbox in it rather than a manual one. And the SD just means it's side discharge, so it's chucked everything out the crap out there rather than out the back. And the reason I'm making this video is because I'm having to change the main drive belt on the thing, and it's a little bit tricky. Not difficult, just tricky so far. And there aren't many videos out there with this sort of thing on, so but why not film a bit of it? So if anyone else is doing one like this or similar, they'll have an idea of what to do. Or because it's me, maybe they won't. Well, before I start, I've just changed that to the ignition switch on it. That was fucked. But it's absolutely pointless in showing that, because all it is literally I'm doing this ring around the top here. It then just falls out from the console there, and you've got one little connector there for the electrics. That's it. It's just a case of literally dropping it out, unclipping the old connector, throwing away your knackered ignition unit, clipping the new one on, pushing it up in through there, and tightening the ring back up. So nothing to that really. Oh yeah, slight modification I made to this one. This foot pedal here and here is forward and reverse. Obviously with my leg being non-existent, it's a pain in the arse using an artificial foot on these bloody things, especially when you're bouncing around the garden. So I basically put this on here so that I can do it all by hand. I just made that little adaptation. Fittings and that are all stainless, so they won't rot, including actually this bit of studding, that's all stainless as well. Some I had left over from another job. And the handle on the top came from, I don't know what car that was. It looks like it's off an automatic gear change for a 1970s car by the look of that. Found it in one of my old toolboxes. Right, now, when you're doing these wonderful things, I shall have to get down and hope that there's enough light to film it. Right, I'm back. I bet you didn't expect to see me here. No, I didn't either. Unfortunately, this camera is being a pain in the fucking arse. And it's lost a lot of footage. Twice now in a row that it's lost footage. And the footage I lost is the footage of me doing most of the first part of taking the belt off. So what I'm going to do is whip this around and show you exactly what there is involved in taking this apart. Oh, I'm going to do it all in one bit. Hang on a second, I need to sit down. Oh, yeah. Right, here we go. Now, first thing to do when taking this belt off is to get yourself underneath over to this here. This is the tensioning pulley. As I say later on, it's the one directly behind the front pulley. Front pulley under the engine there. Come straight back from it and you will see this one is the tensioning one, and this one can be pushed. It's on a spring loaded arm. So what you need to do, and what I did, is basically get a block of wood a few feet long and push against this pulley with it. Put the wood away, never mind. Push against the pulley with it. That will take the tension off the drive belt, and you can then put a hand in there. As you can see, that's the pulley on the back above the back axle. You can then take the belt off of that. You just push it up on one side and rotate it slightly. It'll come undone very easily. Or failing that, you can always just cut the old one off, thing as replacing it anyway, but that's the easier way of doing it. So you don't need to do anything else with that pulley because there's nothing else on there holding that. Holding the belt in place or anything. Alright, let me just... Oh, better. Right. You've then got a guide pin there, guide pins rather, and a pair of guide pins just here as well. As you can see, the belt is running in between them, and the same on that side there. The belt runs in between them. So you have to take the belt out of those. Not difficult. Although you might find that, as I found with this pin here, the top pin was actually a little bit tight, and I had to bend it up slightly to get the new belt in. Getting the old belt out wasn't a problem because it's only half the bloody thickness of the new one, where it was so worn. This pulley here needs to be taken off completely. Don't bother just loosening it, take it off. It's a 13mm nut and bolt. It makes it a lot easier to take the thing off and put it back on with the new belt. Much easier job. Same applies to this tensioning one here. Hang on, can't see where I am. There I am, yep. This tensioning pulley here. This you can just unbolt from here. There is no need to worry about above it. You can literally just take the nut off it and pull the pulley off, and then put it back on with the new belt. Again, makes the job a lot easier. And on the front here, we have the clutch assembly for the cutter blades, which one on this pulley here. I haven't put the belt back on here again yet. I'll do that in a second actually, while I'm here. And the actual transmission belt runs on the top pulley up here. That is a 16mm bolt under there. And I recommend, if you're going to try and do that, you get yourself an impact driver. It'll make your life a lot easier. It can be undone with a spanner or whatever, but you will have a lot of problems because the whole thing will just keep trying to rotate. You know, keep trying to rotate the engine and everything. So rather than that, if you've got an impact driver, use it, and it will come off immediately, very easily, and goes out. It does up again afterwards, no problem at all. Right, back to me with the other footage, as long as this is recorded properly, and it appears to have. See you in a sec. Right, that bolt undid fairly easily. Now what I had to do was pull on this whole mechanism very slightly and tap the bottom of it with a hammer. Just gentle taps just to try and get it to shock itself free, which is now done, and the whole mechanism is starting to come out. Now before you take this off, just remember there's a couple of electrical connections on the other side of this for the clutch. Make sure you undo those or they'll get in the way of your belt trying to come off. Now I've got it like this, I can now just slide the belt off it. I've still got to undo this one over here, but that doesn't really matter yet. There we go, one belt off. Look at the state of that. Absolutely knackered. It had dirty great long strings hanging off it that I ripped off the other day. There's the new belt by comparison. All nice and big and solid. Whereas this one's well, not even half the size it used to be. It's completely and utterly worn out. Right, let's just quickly get this new belt chucked up around here, and I can push this all back up again and bolt it back in before I worry about routing everything back to where it belongs. There we go, the bugger is back on. What a tit! Be very careful with this. If it comes right off, like mine did, after belting it, I'm trying to put it back on again, I'd take it right off. It's keyed. There is a keyway in the shaft, and the key is actually within the main part of this, and it turns with that weird adapter thing under there that the bolt goes into. You turn that, it turns the actual key. So you can try and line it up. But it is a bit of a bugger, unless you lift your machine up off the floor properly. Right, now the belt's in there. I'm going to tighten that bolt up underneath properly in a minute. And then I've got to get the rest of this dirty great long bolt all the way around the thing. Belt, bolt, belt. Dirty great long belt, that's the one. Got to get that arranged through everything now. Right, now with this particular variety of lawnmower, this pulley here, which is the first one after you come, there's the engine at the front with the pulley at the front. It's the first one on the way back. That is actually the tensioning pulley, because that whole pulley can be pushed back and it's on a spring. That pushes hard against the belt. So basically the back part of the belt from here, the back I mean the bit furthest from me, is the one that needs to go in next to that pulley. So I'm going to have to stick that in there and then tighten that pulley up. At the moment it's loose because there's a guide pin. Well, there we go, it's now right back on. I have to fully undo that. I'll take the pulley off. Can't see a damn thing. Oh, there we go. See it now. I have to undo that nut completely, take the pulley off, and then put the belt back on with the pulley. There's no other way of getting it in there. Now what I'm going to have to do is feed the belt through here, middle part of the tunnel. Hang on. Oh, I've got to get up for this. Yeah, because the back part of the belt has now got to go behind here, and the other part has to go straight along this bit. Now, somewhere there's some guide pins. Oh, there's the guide pins there. I'll make sure it goes through those as well before it goes to the back end. And there's guide pins here. And the hand is there. So you've got both sides that the belt's got to go through on its way to the back. And on this particular model there are no other pulleys before you get to the back. I've seen other models where they've got a rear discharge and whatever, they put pulleys in the back there and there, and you have to take both of those out to get the damn thing on and off. Right, let's rearrange this belt. Right, if I can get my hand in there, there's a clip hole just under here I've got to clip into, and then it locks up in the slot which is currently sitting there. No, you can't see that, can you? Hang on, whoa! Bring it down. There's a slot there that it just slides into. Right. Now there you go, when it's back on, spring sitting here, goes round the back of it underneath there and comes out through a hole. There's only one placing for it. And as I say, this back end of it is just literally slid in that groove, and you just push it to the back of it. And that's it. Right. Tensions it all up. Right. Ow. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm surrounded by a billion midges at the minute. But thankfully I have some wonderful midge repellent that seems to be stopping and biting for now. How long that will last I do not know. Probably not very. Now finally, you get this belt back on properly. Back on the front again. Put it through at the back. I'm going to have to put it on at the back end now. And to do that, this pulley here, the one that I'd have to take right off, but actually I can push it. The whole thing moves on a spring-loaded arm because that is the tensioner. So what I'm going to do is push that back with a block of wood and use my other hand to fuck about and get the belt on at the back end. Could take a little while, tricky, and it's a pain in the backside. Right, let's get on with it. Well, I'm not going back down there again, but believe me, it's all back on. As you can see, these are all nice and tight now. Oh, be careful with this fucker here. I found that this belt jammed slightly, wasn't quite in place properly. I had to take it off and redo it. And don't forget, when you're done with that, plug the electrics back into the clutch. Otherwise, it won't work. The electrics are down under there. Top of the clutch unit there, you can see two wires going in. Right, now all I've got to do, start her up and test it. Make sure it goes backwards and forwards like it used to. Move that out of the way. Empty packets. Let's have a look. Oh, hang on. It would help. That's better. If I put the back axle back in gear. Right. Oh yeah. Perfect. Start, stops and runs. What more could you ask for? Oh dear. Right, now all I've got to do is put this bloody centre cover back on. Literally a case of just clipping it back on and doing up one screw at the back here. So there is, well, on this one anyway. Yours may vary. Right, there you go. Well, I have proved one thing. This midge repellent I'm wearing works perfectly. I'm covered in the fucking teeth, but they haven't bitten me, not once. Yet. Bad thing to say. Anyway, that's it for now. Next one, be back on the rear axle of the trike. I'll be doing that tomorrow. Bye.